What's good, guys? You know I had to make a video on this one. So Eminem continues to rack up his accolades as his decorated career enters its third decade, as he is now officially one of the top 10 highest selling artists of all time. And in my personal opinion, guys, I am going to say he's probably the best out of this whole list, and I will give reasons for that soon. So according to Chartmasters, Slim Shady has finally cracked the top 10 list, achieving 207 million total sales in his career, vaulting him above Led Zeppelin into the number 10 spot. This is insane, guys. This is actually just insane. The ranking combined album sales, singles sales, and streaming data, and is uploaded daily. Eminem is the only rapper in the top 40 with Drake, his closest competition at 41, with just over 120 million sales. So he has nearly twice as much as Drake in sales, which is insane. As Kanye West obviously smokes, he has like nearly 4 times as much as Kanye, and Tupac, pretty much, quarter. So are the only ones with hip hop acts in the top 100. So they're the only 4 rappers in the top 400, and he washes them easily, right? So we're gonna go through the list right here real fast. So starting at number 1, guys, is the Beatles. All right, no question there. Total studio sales is 160 million. Okay, and am I right about saying that? 160 million. Yes, I am right about saying it. So 160 million, and total EAS is 420 million. Okay, so their EAS is like, their streams, everything is insane, guys, right? Obviously, they've been around the longest. Like, when have the Beatles been around from? Like the 90s, like the 80s, yeah, the 70s. They've been around forever, guys. So Eminem kind of automatically beats them, just in terms of how long they've been around for. Because I think if I was to Google the Beatles, how long they've been around for, let's see. Okay, they've been around since the 60s, guys. So that's like, 40 years ahead of Eminem. So Eminem has about 40 years to catch up on them. So still, very impressive for the Beatles. Okay. Michael Jackson, again, very, very old, right? So he started in when, guys? Probably 20 or 30 years behind Eminem. Again, maybe 20 years. So, very impressive, Michael Jackson. He's a solo artist as well. The Beatles, they're a group of artists as well. So there are a few things that bring you down on this list, in my personal opinion. If you have 4 or 5 people in this list, that's 4 or 5 people against one guy. So it's tougher, guys. If you have a group act, it's way easier to become big, right? Just straight up, guys. Elvis Presley, again, pretty impressive. But Eminem beats him in terms of album sales. He almost doubles his album sales. So still very impressive, though, because of the number of streams that he gets. Now, on to Queen. Queen, again, guys, they're what? A group of 4? Group of 4 people. So, again, they've been around for a long time. Elvis Presley since the 60s as well. So, everybody here on this list is much older than Eminem. I'll just put that into perspective. And also, guys, nobody in this list is in the rap genre. It's all like pop music and like popular music. Like music that's more mainstream, we'll say. So Eminem, I think, is the most impressive on this list, like by far, guys. And that's not coming from a guy that's like, thinks that like, whatever, putting other people down. That's just saying that in terms of a rap star, guys, like what rappers do you know that outsells these? It's just insane to sell that many in rap music. Seeing as rap music is predominantly, been only around since the 80s or 90s, so very impressive. Next, we got Madonna. Okay, Eminem, she only has 40 million copies sold of her stuff more. Still, quite impressive. Madonna is obviously a one solo act. She was probably the most, out of everybody on this list, she's the closest to Eminem in terms of time and all that stuff, guys. Probably the closest. Or Michael Jackson, because, pop music is kind of similar, or not pop music, but like, rock and roll is somewhat similar to rap music as well. So very impressive for Madonna. So the Rolling Stones, obviously a group of 4. Very impressive, guys. The Rolling Stones, obviously as well, guys, have been around since how long, guys? They've been around for forever. They're an English rock band formed in London in 1962, guys. Like Eminem's been around since 1999. So again, another 40 years on top. So Eminem has 40 years plus to kind of even longer than that. You know what I mean? So Eminem has about 40 years on top of these people. So in about 40 years, will Eminem have more sales than these people? I'd argue yes that he would, guys. And they have practically the same amount of record sales. Pink Floyd, very impressive. Again, a group of 4 people, so 4 heads is better than 1. Frank Sinatra, okay, he's not even on the list, in my opinion. He's not comparative because, like, he's a different genre altogether. He's a solo act. He has been around for forever as well. Elton John, guys. I'm going to say Elton John and Madonna are the 2 closest people on this list in terms of sales with Eminem. Yeah, just simply, I think Eminem will pretty much overtake Elton John as well, hopefully soon. You know, I would argue that he probably will and become 9th. And then probably overtake Frank Sinatra and Pink Floyd. It'll be tough to see will he crack the top 5, but it's so impressive, guys. People don't understand how impressive it is for Eminem to do this. He's a different act, not in a popular music genre. He doesn't really cater music towards popular audiences. Some of his songs are for popular audiences, like Love the Way You Lie, Not Afraid, but dude, the guy is in a genre that's not even for white people, you know, and he's becoming literally one of the biggest. You know, all the odds are stacked against Eminem. It's the most impressive guy on this list. Michael Jackson, again, very impressive, but he has a good few years on Eminem. You know, will he ever hit Michael Jackson numbers? That's tough, guys. 130 million copies? Probably not, guys. Probably not. You know, with Elvis as well, probably. It's tough, guys. But like I said, will he crack top 5? I would think he could beat Madonna, but time will tell. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. It's super impressive, though. Like, how many sales? It's just insane. He's now pulled ahead of the legendary rock band Led Zeppelin. Guys, Led Zeppelin have been around for forever as well. They're like the biggest people ever. You know, it's insane, guys. Equivalent album sales. So the equivalent album sales is the EAS. So what it would be in the equivalent of, like, you know, someone that's buying an album relative to streaming an album. So it's all done very, very perfect. Chartmasters.org. It's so impressive, guys. I can't even believe that he's top 10 now. He will be 9th as well. So, you know, to see that he has 10 albums as well. Okay, so he has 10 albums. I don't know how many albums these other people have, or 11 now, actually. I mean, I might have 11 now, but I don't know how many albums these other people have, but it's just crazy, man. You know, it's crazy to see that he has music that's so unique. And he's 50 years old too, guys. So he's still relatively young compared to most of these people. You know, people on this list aren't even alive now. You know, most of the Beatles are dead. Michael Jackson's dead. Elvis Presley's dead. Queen is dead. Madonna is, you know, not doing that well. The Rolling Stones are in their 90s. You know, Pink Floyd they're pretty much all dead. Frank Sinatra's dead. Elton John is the only one that's alive on this list. So in terms of people that are actually alive as well, guys, he washes everybody on this list. Nobody can debate me on that one. The Beatles, he washes, guys. Michael Jackson washes. Elvis Presley washes. Queen washes. Madonna is tough because she's still alive and she's still kind of, you know, she's still kind of doing her thing, you know, and she's not active, guys. Hugh's the only person who's active on this list as well. Let me tell you, guys. The Rolling Stones released a track yesterday, you know, probably because they want to still be relevant, which they are. I'm not hating on the Rolling Stones, but Eminem, you know, he put out a track 3 years ago, guys. He put out 2 albums 3 years ago. So, very impressive. So, he's still putting out albums into his 50s. So, it's very, very impressive. None of these people here are either alive or have albums that they're still putting out. So, you got to keep... There's a bunch of different factors that I said there. Hopefully, you guys understand what I'm talking about. I love you guys all, man. Eminem's the best of all time. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree. Stan signing out, man. Peace.